What's up, everybody? It's your commissioner here speaking. Not feeling too hot. Took a sick day, and spending this time to talk about your teams. Bye weeks are here. I'm scared. And maybe you should be too. You know. So let's get this party started. Okay, so I wanted to show off this thing first, just the standings real quick, because I feel like. Uh, Even though I don't have much faith in the fantasy model, just because I think they've only been doing it for 2 years. I'm talking about the playoff percentages. I feel like they're pretty harsh right now. It seems like they got the haves and the have-nots already, and it's only been a month into the season. I think it's kind of crazy that Alejandro's 2-2, and they're giving him a 25% chance of making the playoffs. If you're driving or something listening to this, right now it's 85%, 77, 60, and 47. So Noah's 2-2 and he's at 47%. Then it's me with 38% at 2-2. And then Alejandro's 2-2 at 25. And then all the 1 and 3 teams, it's 16, 19, 17, and 16% respectively. So they're already like, yeah, those top three guys, they're for real. Um, David, Max, Josh, and then it's going to be me or Noah, or I guess maybe Alejandro. Usually I see when you're 500, you're not in the 20s. You might be at 29%. And then usually this 85, the 77%, that's usually like just the number one seed. It's kind of crazy that they got two people over 75% um, this early. Now, again, I think this is only the second year, I want to say, that they're doing playoff percentages. But yeah, I definitely do remember last year there was not this much of a discrepancy this early. So yeah, we're gonna go from 10 to 1 here, breaking down some of you guys' teams or all of your teams. So right here with the unfortunate Tony. Tony's cooked. Tony's cucked. There's not really much to say here because everybody's kind of doing bad. I didn't expect Jamar Chase to be this bad without Joe Burrow. But when the O line is that bad, if you guys were seeing it last night, it's just going to be a long road. I didn't expect Ladd McConkey to be this bad. He was not. I wasn't looking to draft him, but I didn't know that he's 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 not the leader in targets. Even if he wasn't going to be the touchdown guy, at least I thought he'd do that. He's not getting the end zone targets either. Just kind of having a weird year. I mean, if I remember correctly, let me see this here. Yeah, he had excuse me. What the heck? Yeah. 6 targets, 1 catch this past game. Hasn't scored more than 13.4. I'm highlighting him because this is the guy you would want. I mean, you took him 21st overall. This is your third player. So you lose, Jamar Chase is now handicapped because of QB, and then your third pick is Boo Boo, and then Bucky Irving, your second round pick is now questionable. He's day to day, he's getting an MRI, so it's just unfortunate. There's a lot of busts on this team. Like Judy, I thought Judy would be better. They're just passing the ball around so much. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, honestly, I could be wrong here. J.K. Dobbins, he's running back 14. And we can go for, let's see here, week 3. Bro, you haven't started J.K. Dobbins once. So, not sure what you were thinking there. Um, you should be 2-2. Honestly, I remember that one week against me. I think you lost by like 1 point. I had some pretty lucky stuff go my way that week. But yeah, don't want to. I think this team is done. Kamara's losing snaps. Um, Keenan Allen, I mean, one day good, one week good. There's just too many mouths to feed now. Kelsey's cooked. Montgomery, he'll have better days. He had a good week last week, but just not really any difference makers. And I'm just, yeah, unfortunate. Okay, next up we have Hunter. Now Hunter's cooked. Maybe he's a little less cooked because he's got Cam Scatabo or Scatabo. I still don't know how to pronounce that, honestly. And he's got Woody Marks. I picked up Woody Marks from my other league right before the week started, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm 1-3 though in that league. Uh, We'll see how long Mike Evans is going to be out for. McLaurin should be back. And I think McLaurin will be better as the season progresses. Those guys usually when they're not practicing a lot in the offseason, they have a slow start, which is why for the record I was so out on James Cook. And then I remember I think after we drafted, it was like the week before the season started when he got his new contract. They had said that he had been in the office or he was at camp practicing, doing drills. He was in the meetings and all that. I was like, if I had known that, maybe I would have thought about taking James Cook, but hindsight 2020 there. Um, we'll see what Malik Washington does without Tyreek Hill. But David Njoku is a bust. Derrick Henry now we'll see with Lamar. A lot of will sees, as you can hear me saying. Um, Derrick Henry without Lamar Jackson, it's going to be tough because the O-line's banged up, the defense is bad, so they're not going to be in good game scripts right now. They're just really banged up. And right now, I mean, it's been since that 29-point game week one, it's been 2.3, 10.7, and 7.8. Baker's just not a difference maker at quarterback. And the bench, it's good to see. I mean, Dalton Kincaid is tight end six. Maybe starting uh, Dalton Kincaid. Um, I have some hope for this team because personally, I will see. You'll probably hear me talk about this a lot more later on in this video. I think there's some fragility in the top four. Maybe not max per se, but there's a couple of other teams where if they lose one, if one or two of those players go down, I think one of these 1-3 teams can easily shoot up. Even though right now a lot of them did look pretty concerning. Uh, so yeah, Kyron, it's turning into. I feel like that's slowly turning into a timeshare. He's running back 19 with, even though he's been scoring I don't know, it's 13.9, 10, 19.2, 10. Just not, I mean, not bad, but it's really the wide receiver. No neighbors. It's Kirk, Malik Washington, and you're waiting for McLaurin or Mike Evans to come back. So uh, he's going to need to hope. I think the hope here is that Scatabo and Woody Marks are like league winners, which is kind of tough with how how those offenses aren't really good. But if those teams are cooking and if those players are cooking and at his flex, and Dalton Kincaid slots in for him as a top five tight end instead of Njoku, and then maybe he can get a win or two before Mike Evans and McLaurin come back, and hopefully Lamar isn't too out for too long. Then I could see this team float back up and maybe become the fourth seed, third seed, who knows? So I'm holding out a candle. Got a candle left for Hunter. Uh, not compared to Tony. Next up, Jigba Please, aka Jacob. Um, so a lot, kind of a lot to unpack here. The first thing is Chuba has lost his passing down role. I know this because I thought about picking up Rico Dowdle in another league after I dropped him. This was in Dynasty. But yeah, since week one, week two, 17.9, 18.7, and then the last 2 weeks it's been 9.6 and 9.9. Um, even though his catches have been the same. Now he hasn't had touchdowns these last 2 weeks. Maybe that's why he hasn't been doing well, but I think Chuba's just kind of a wash. He's not going to really be what he was last year. Jack Smith and Jigba is a stud. But then you got Jamison Williams and AJ Brown, maybe probably they're making two of the top 10 biggest busts. Um, I think my issue with this team is that I think AJ Brown will turn it around. Devontae Adams is looking great. Jason's looking great. My worry is actually just the flexes. The flexes right now, if you're not looking at this, it's Jamison Williams and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had 6 for 100 recently, so that was a good sign. 6 for 101. Um, but it was on 7 targets. The last 3 weeks, he put up 5.3, 7.2, 11.7. We'll see. That's a big one. We'll see if that's probably honestly. I mean, that's a bad sign. If Stephon Diggs is your X factor, that's a big sign. That's a not the best of signs. But if Stephon Diggs ends up getting healthier and he's like a true number one for the Patriots, then I could see this team kind of getting back up to speed. My fear is like it's not looking like Thielen, Calvin Austin, Chris Rodriguez, Keon Coleman. I haven't really. He's looking like a bust. RJ Harvey, it's taken him. He just scored, but it's taken him a while. He's not getting touches. Um. Oh wait, hold on now. Hold on. He did have 21.8. He had four. I think he had 18 touches this week, but it was a blowout against the worst defense in the league in Cincinnati. So I guess that's another one. We can maybe that's the real X factor of this team. But yeah, I'm not gonna say this team's bad because if AJ Brown just goes back to like 80% of what he usually is for year in year out, I think this team will be fine because I think Devontae Adams and Jackson Smith and Jigba are great plays at their positions. And Juwan Johnson, I think he had one, he had a bad week this week, but he's tight end seven. I mean, this against Buffalo, he had 3 targets. The weeks before, it was 8, 9, and 11 targets. Uh, been double digits all the last 3 weeks. So I believe in Juwan Johnson, and I just don't believe in JMO. Uh, what sucks about JMO is it's just the boom bust nature. It's not like you can get. I mean, I haven't really. It's 6, 6, 5.7, and 18.8 when he does boom. The thing is like even when he is gonna boom, is it's not 30, it's 18. That's the problem right now with Jameson Williams and why he's such a bust right now. Um, I'm sure maybe he'll have 130 ball this year, but really just has no unstartable, untradeable. But yeah, we'll see how Rashad White does. Maybe we'll see. Maybe if Bucky Irving misses a couple of weeks, but even then, I think he's going to be in a timeshare. So just kind of a confusing team. At least he's got a great, he's elite at with Jahmyr Gibbs. Honestly, probably one of the better wide receiving cores if you're looking just at the front three, even with AJ Brown being a bust so far. Um, so yeah. I'm just kind of on this team. This team can definitely make the playoffs still. I'm holding out a candle. I'm using that. What is it? Idiom again. All right, next we got Stawara. Yeah. Now this is a 1-3 team that I think I'm good on. I think this team's cooked. I don't think. I mean, here we got Josh Allen, Travion Henderson, Kareem Hunt, Demario Douglas, Quentin Johnston. He just dropped Tyreek Hill, Evan Ingram, Isaiah Pacheco, Tyquan Thornton. Um, that's the team that he's throwing out there this week because he's got CeeDee Lamb. I think he'll miss another week. Drake London's on a bye. Tyrone Tracy's, they said he's going to miss multiple weeks. I don't think Joe Mixon's playing this year. That's why I was so high on Woody Marks for Hunter. And Cedric Tillman is set to miss weeks. Josh Jacobs. So he's taking an L this week. Brandon Ayuk, they said that he's not close to coming back. So I mean, I was telling him this. Thank God he picked up Quentin Johnston, who right now is the wide receiver four. So that's how bad it's going for Stewart. He picked up the wide receiver four a month in and is 1-3. Pacheco's got. I mean. Running back 47 just had his first double digit game, and that was with a touchdown. I honestly don't want to talk too much about this team because let's try and save some time here. If Lamb comes back, um, this is a point where this is kind of thing where I think he needs to trade Lamb. He made that trade with I liked the trade, the Josh Jacobs for Cortland Sutton for Josh Jacobs. I liked that trade, but he really needs to do like a CeeDee Lamb, like a 2-for-1. Break it down because he's going to be on 1-4 this after this week, and I don't know how you really can come back from 1-4 when, again, you got Henderson and Hunt. And even Henderson, I mean, he's running back 31 right now. This week he had 9 opportunities in a blowout against Carolina, scored a touchdown, and got 12.6. And this is a week after Antonio Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson combined for 3 fumbles. That's not a good sign right now. It's not. So that's pretty concerning. So moving on, moving on from this. Yeah. A bad time to have a bye, honestly. You could really yeah, Jacobs and London on a bye, not good. What? Not enough memory. All right, where are we at right now? 6. All right, so we're into the 500 teams now. We're with Alejandro. I thought you lost the Josh Jacobs for Cortland Sutton side. I think he sold them kind of low. I like Cortland Sutton, not enough. I think he's in a worse offense. They don't really need to go too much into the trade. But yeah, this team, it's I look at the starters, I'm like, it's an okay team, and then I look at the bench and I'm like, there's nothing here to work with. And I think I've said this, in the preseason rankings. There's just not much here to cook where I can be like, oh, if this happens and this happens, he gets lucky here and there. Oh, this team's gonna turn it around. No, this is what he's got is what he's got here. Now he's got Bijan on bye. He's got DK on bye. Okay. Uh, so I guess we'll have a Breece Hall and Bijan at the start. Okay. Breece Hall's holding it down. The receiving core, I can see why he made that trade because right now he's got Cortland Sutton, Trey Tucker, and Jordan Addison. Uh, DK, I know he had a big game. It's still concerning. It was a big run. He hasn't had more than 7 targets this year. Uh, he is wide receiver 17. Um, that's not too bad. That's actually well, okay, not too bad. But you know what? That should tell you how bad wide receiver is right now. DK has had 12.3, 11, 12.2, and 23.6. And that's enough to get him to wide receiver 17. So one game over 20 and not a single game over 12.3. So yeah, he's just got this the not investing in an elite wide receiver here in a 3 wide receiver league is hurting him. Now, of course, he could have gone Neighbors. He could have tried to go Brian Thomas. But yeah, you kind of got this carousel with T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Cortland Sutton, Addison, DK Metcalf, these wide receiver twos. And I mean, the only wide receiver two right there is Cortland Sutton. Let's be real here. All those other guys were wide receiver threes and potentially maybe a four. Probably not a four. That's a bit harsh. But Addison, it was nice to see him come back, but uh, that was a big catch. Now, big catch, big chunk play. Besides that, it was how many targets? Hold on, hold on. Whoa. He had 8 targets. Okay. That's actually pretty nice. So I'm guessing TJ Hawkinson is cooked. So it's just kind of a in the middle team. It's just I just don't see this turning. Like if AJ Brown is struggling, why is Devontae Smith going to turn it around? T Higgins, I mean the like same thing. Jamar Chase can't get it going. Why should I think that T Higgins is going to turn it around later in the season? Sam Laporta, the offense has gotten too concentrated. Trey Tucker, just a deep ball guy. He's just a bye-week fill-in right now. There's not much to analyze there, but it's Ja'Cory Cross-Game-It's not getting the passing downs. So basically, this is Breece Hall and Bijan, and that's it. Not elite anywhere else. Maybe I said that last time. We're gonna stop it there. Um, I wish I had like a final take. I'm noticing I kind of feel like I'm not giving a final take on all these teams. I'm just kind of it's just fun to go and talk about some of these players and how I feel about them. But we're gonna go to the next team. And I think this is my team now. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm changing. I was gonna go off on this team week 2, and I'm chilling. Now Brian Thomas is pissing me off. For, Trevor Lawrence is really, really pissing me off. Okay, but Quinshon Judkins. I heard he's like running back 10 since he started playing. 10.1, 16.5, 21.5. So even though Kenneth Walker is the most frustrating watch right now, I somehow in the year, I'll put it this way, in the year where I've probably had the worst drafting of wide receivers. Seriously, I know it's still early, in terms of the higher rounds. Okay, I'm hitting later on. I have somehow put together my best running back draft season easily. Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Trey Benson. Um, I mean, Kenneth Walker was supposed to be my starter, and Tony Pollard, and it's week 5. Heading into week 5. I'm not starting either of them, and I'm somehow in a better situation. That doesn't happen every year. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm feeling a little lucky. I'm actually mostly honestly feeling pretty lucky about Igbuka. Um, he's a interesting guy. I'm liking him obviously so far. He's wide receiver 9. He seems buoyed by touchdowns, but the Mike Evans injury is why I'm really feeling him right now. Because yeah, it's been 4 touchdowns in in 4 games. So he's looking like a league winner. It's really this team is just I got to figure out tight end and um Brian Thomas is the X factor here. I really wish I took Puka over Brian Thomas. It's kind of crazy now looking back, but I mean, I wish I took Puka over Nico Collins too. And I was just so worried about Matthew Stafford getting hurt. Um, so yeah, Nico Collins is not he's not really doing the best for me either. But I mean, what can you do? He's wide receiver 24. I'm just gonna start him. Uh, I'm hoping Matthew Golden can be something for me later on the season. Tyreek Hill going down. I'm hoping that, is going Jalen Waddle becomes like a must start maybe. George Pickens is running hot with touchdowns. Basically, with this team is everything seems to be going right. And I'm still now I haven't really gotten the fruits of that yet. I'm 2-2. I'm hoping over the coming weeks it starts cooking. Trey Benson, Quinshon Judkins, um, Jalen Waddle, these guys that seem to everyone's getting hurt around them and they're getting more opportunities. Now, can we turn that into wins, please? That's what I'm hoping for here. My tight end issue is a mess. That's the biggest thing. And honestly, I think what's going to cost me the playoffs here is starting the wrong guys. I did it last week. It's just I don't think I would have won, but it's just costing me points right now. But Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Quinshon Judkins, Trey Benson. That's a tough 4 to rotate in and figure out who to start when. But I gotta say, I think I have the bet. I gotta have top 2, top 3 best depth in the league. So I can handle some injuries. I'm not injured yet. Um, we'll see how it goes from here. I got an elite QB. Travis Etienne, I'm loving how he hasn't lost the role yet. I'm still shocked. I hope he doesn't because I think Noah has Bashal too, and I don't need his team to get better right now because he's kind of him and Alejandro kind of seem to be. I feel like right now it's still those top 3. I know they only have a one winner, one more win than all of us except David. But I really think it's like me. I still see Jacob's 1-3 team as a threat and Noah's team. Sorry, Alejandro. I do think my team is flat out better than yours. So I don't feel that way about the other teams yet. So yeah, an odd team. This is an odd team because it's I'm getting a lot of touchdowns, but if we're looking at like target, like Brian Thomas and Nico Collins are the only guys who are really getting fed, and they're not doing the best. Everyone else, oh, okay, Quinshon Judkins getting fed. Okay, Quinshon Judkins is just the man right now, I'll be honest. But everyone else who's getting fed is either not doing well, and if they are, they're scoring a touchdown to make up for their inefficiencies, or I just feel like I don't have a stud. And if it is a stud, it's Igbuka. That's my only stud. That's I know that might sound like, oh, you're complaining, but if my stud is wide receiver 9, that's why I'm 2-2 right now. So, um, well, I'm hoping by week 7, um, halfway through the season, we come back revisit this, and I'm able to either make a trade or find some must starts. So, yeah. Okay, so now I think we're into the playoff seeding. 2-2 Noah. So what I was right about with this team is that the wide receivers, that the running backs had to really do well for the wide receivers to make up for some of these wide receivers that aren't really elite target earners or separators, whatever. And that was right for somewhat. Calvin Ridley looks like I mean he's definitely top 5 busts. Definitely. Uh, he's hurt right now. Yeah, I took him 56th. Um, hasn't had more than 8.7 points. Jacoby Myers was going. I haven't really been watching the Raiders, so I don't know. But the first 2 weeks it was 17.7, 12.8. Now it's 9.3 and 7. So you're just gonna get these inconsistencies. That's just how I feel about it. It's Ted. With Ted, it's 11.8, 16, 7.8, 10.2, and that's his second wide receiver right now. So hopefully Marvin has turned the corner for him. I mean, hopefully not for me, but Marvin's turned the corner here. 18, 4.7, 7.4, 18.6 for Marvin Harrison. Uh, Hopefully Ashton Genty has turned the corner for him. Just had 3 touchdowns there. Uh, but Saquon hasn't been Saquon of last year. And the bench really, we're seeing Ricky Pearsall. I think the Ricky Pearsall experiment's over. Uh, I don't know if it's an experiment. He drafted him, and he gave him a couple of good weeks. I don't know if he started him. He had 200-yard games, but he's questionable now. It's a Thursday night game. I feel like he'll miss that. Jawan Jennings, as banged up as he's been too, he's been playing through it, and he's been getting more targets. And now Kittle is coming back in a month or so. So not no, not a month or so after missing almost a month. So. I don't see him. I don't see the upside there. Kenneth Gainwell doing as well as he did. As soon as they gave Jalen Warren more touches, he got hurt. That's not a good sign. I was willing to come in here and be like, he struck gold with Jalen Warren at the flex because it gives him some RB depth that he didn't have previously. Uh, because Jordan Mason, I know you could say running back depth, but once Jones comes back, I think that's still going to be a split. But Warren, I don't think it was going to be a split. I think it was going to be just great depth and a great flex piece to make up for the Ridley pick. But if that's going to be a committee on a bad offense, and Ricky Pearsall is going to get less targets, and Ridley's not even number 1 in targets anymore, and Jones is coming back, and uh, you're left with, and now Jackson is hurt. This team is it's the upside is still pretty good. I think it's intact, unlike Alejandro, Jacob. Uh, but it's it's a very wobbly team. It's a wobbly team. Like if Genty and Barkley picks it up, hey, I know he's had some tough matchups, and Lamar's only out for a week or so. Yeah, I think this will be in a playoff contention. Tucker Kraft, I think this is not 100% healthy yet. This bye will get him back to top speed. Um, And there is still like if Kenneth Walker gets hurt, if Travis Etienne starts sucking or gets hurt, he's got Tootin and Charbonnet, so he's got some upside on the bench. It's just I can definitely see this team just being in the middle and like gets unlucky a couple weeks and finishes like 7-7, 6-8, and misses the playoffs. I do see that in this I do see that scenario with this team. But Garrett Wilson, listen, it's been a pleasant surprise. Um, Wide receiver 5. Now, he does have 3 touchdowns in 4 games, but I mean, you'll take it. You'll definitely take it. I think that can stick. Maybe not the touchdowns all the time, but Justin Fields has been playing well, and at least he's got that. At least he has one guy, and you just hope that Tet, as a rookie, just continues to improve. I do have concerns about Myers. Again, I haven't been watching it. Maybe I think Gino's just been sucking, but. If Marvin takes a step and Tet continues to get better as a rookie, Garrett Wilson, Tet, Marv as the 3 wide receivers with Tucker Kraft at tight end, throw whoever you want at flex there. Yeah, this is a playoff team, even with Lamar getting hurt because he's got Drake May, who is Quarterback four. He's got quarterback four sitting on the bench here. Um, wish I took him over Jalen Hurts. I thought about it, but oh well. Right now we're into the top three teams here. So we got Josh. Josh's team, it's just thin. That's all I'm gonna really say here. We'll see how long Lamar's out for Zay, but I mean he's struck gold with Rome Odunze. It's looking like a great pick. Um, Aaron Jones, we'll see when he's back from him for the flex. I'm not really feeling the bench at all. Ray Davis is a good backup. Chris Godwin, I don't know if he'll ever be good this year, like be a difference maker even at the flex, but excuse me, he's been juggling uh Dak and Caleb. It's gonna be nice to have Jaden Daniels back. But yeah, I mean Justin Jefferson with Carson Wentz is looking a lot better. Started the season 14.8, 11.1, 12.5. I think they didn't really have to do anything against Cincy, but last week they did, and I mean this past week they did, and he got 11 targets. So wide receiver is great, running back core is great. It's just these tight ends and the flexes. Brock Bowers and is banged up, and Kittle is. We'll see how fast he comes back, and hopefully he doesn't re-aggravate the hammy. That can always be tricky, but it's just Brock Bowers. I don't think he's healthy right now. I think that's kind of the problem, right? I don't want to say it right now again, but I still love this team's upside. It's just very fragile. Where if Javonte goes down, I could see this team drop a couple games. Just because there are still just because the flexes are that bad. I know Romeo Dobbs just got 3 touchdowns, that's pretty nice, but the flexes are still pretty bad. Um, and bad maybe is an understatement. We'll see what Coker can do coming back from injury. But I mean, Aaron Jones, we'll see. We'll see how long Aaron Jones is out. So it's really the hammies. The hammies are really holding this guy back because Javonte Williams, it does look like the real deal. I will say that he's not a sell high anymore. He's the real deal. If Aaron Jones and Kittle at the flex, that's pretty good. That makes this team uh, a legitimate contender. Because I mean, guys, let's call it what it is. Javonte's RB6, Taylor's RB3, Zay is wide receiver 16, and I mean that was with yeah, well, okay, that's wide receiver 16. That's his wide receiver 2. Jefferson is wide receiver 15. Rome is wide receiver 3. And I mean, he doesn't have anybody outside the top like 20. And now he's just gonna get Jaden Daniels back. It's 3-1. Depth is a concern. He's gonna drop some games with bye weeks. I mean, he might lose this week with the I don't know actually. He's gonna be missing Dobbs and Odunze. So he's just gotta pray he misses out on injuries. Any more injuries, I guess that you could say. Because if Aaron Jones, but here's the thing, is Aaron Jones startable if one of his other running backs go down? I don't know. That's actually a good question that just popped up into my head. But two tight ends will work here just fine with how the 49ers are looking. Kittle could be like a high-end wide receiver too. Seriously. And I have no worries about it. Dunze and Zay Flowers keeping it up. I mean, Zay Flowers, when Lamar comes back, that defense, Matabike, they're arguably their best. No, no. You could make an argument. No, no. He's their best defensive player. Probably top 3 or 4 best player. He's out for the season. Nate Wiggins now might go on. I don't know how bad it's going to be. That's their best corner. If that defense is going to be crap, that's perfect for Zay Flowers. Third year breakout. Like, sign me up for his wide receiver too. But do they go back to JJ McCarthy? If the Vikes go back to JJ, that could be bad. That could be bad. But not as bad as how some of these other teams are looking in this league. So I really have this. We'll come back. I think if in another 3 weeks, halfway through the season, if this team's like 5-2, I will put the playoff lock on this team. I am already ready to put that there because I don't think. I think a lot of wide receivers so bad this year in a three wide receiver league, nobody has good depth. You know what I'm saying? So you can be a fragile if your upside is this good, you can be fragile because he's 3-1 before the buys. Okay, another 3-1 team that's oh God. I'm ready to so if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys all watched the first video, but I was pretty down on Max's team. I don't like players like James Cook who had sat out. I thought Amon-Ra lacked upside. I thought Worthy without Rice, was going to be Worthy with Rice back and Marquise Brown healthy and stuff. He'd be boom bust. Hawkinson would suck. DJ Moore would suck. All this Hampton and not in a shared backfield with a guy who never gets hurt. What ended up happening within a month? Hawkinson, okay, he sucks. DJ Moore, all right. I don't think there's any coming back for either of them. But Ferguson, he had the number one tight end on his bench, and I think Lamb is going to miss maybe another 3 more weeks. He's a tight end one. Um, I'm pretty sure shortly after I made the video, Rashee Rice got suspended for 6 weeks. Now, Worthy got hurt. In his first game back, he put up 17. James Cook, the Bills have like a top five O line, and they don't really feel like passing. And on top of that, James Cook is just. I had found out that James Cook was practicing, or excuse me, he was with the team practicing all off season. So it wasn't like he was like a Terry McLaurin just sitting around. And then Achane, the calf issue ended up not being an issue at all. So Achane's, I mean, the guy he was my preseason my favorite player besides the calf injury. So he's got that, and then he took a quarterback late, and remember they would be run heavy. They're not. So he's got a top 10 quarterback on the bench. Um, no, no, sorry, I don't know why I said on the bench. Um, took a quarterback late, and he's still top 10. So he's hit on quarterback. And Hampton, the big one is Hampton. Was supposed to be with Najee Harris, who never gets hurt. Has a season-ending injury halfway through week 3, and Chris Olave is just getting fed. So as your second, and Debo is getting kickoff return stuff with Terry McLaurin being boo-boo, and even with the backup quarterback, he's still making plays. And Amon-Ra with the Lions, it's so concentrated, and their defense is taking a step back enough where he's cooking, and he hasn't really fallen off. The ups, not fallen off, but the upside. I mean, he had 8.5. Since then, it's been 39, 20, and 26. Now it is touchdowns. I didn't think he'd be scoring this many touchdowns. I thought Laporta, it would someone go to Laporta. I thought Montgomery's touchdowns was falling off. Uh, St. Brown has 6 touchdowns in 4 games. Pretty nasty. I was wrong about that pick too. Um, this is the best team in our league right now. I will say there's some ways it could get bad. Uh, The Chargers lost another O lineman, so we'll see how that affects Hunter. I mean, excuse me, Herbert and Hampton. But other than that, I guess Terry McLaurin will eventually come back and be healthy. I don't think Debo's going to be this good, and then he has no depth. So I will say that. Excuse me, I don't think there's any like DJ Moore is. You can't even say like he's a good. He's a bye week fill-in that you don't. Okay, I don't know what's going on now. Maybe I'll refresh the page. I was trying to see how bad DJ Moore's been. He's been wide receiver 45. He's put up 8.6, 9.6, 12.8, 7.8. Yeah, that's not even really startable. So yeah, if Achane gets hurt, Debo, Worthy, Achane all have Olave, they all have injury histories. So we'll see there. Um, Ferguson will definitely come back down to earth, I think, when Lamb comes back. But with no Tyreek Hill, I mean, Achane might be a wide receiver too, just on catches. So, yeah, this team's got elite players. It's got some high target players. It's got some good offenses. It really just has it all. Has a rushing QB. So, Zero depth, zero. Like I don't think this team can get better. It's just this team. Can he stick with this team? Can it stay healthy? If so, this is you know what? My first stamp playoff lock, Max. So I was wrong. I'll give it. I was wrong on this team. All right, and now the number one, 4-0. The 4-0 David here. Um, this team is. I feel like this team is not as good as Max's, but has better depth, and it's not that much worse than uh, Max's team. So let's break it down here. The main thing is just Rasheed Rice coming. This team's gonna be very scary when Rasheed Rice is coming, and I believe in Pittman to stick, even though I don't really like Pittman. But Pittman right now, wide receiver 13. I don't know how long he can keep scoring. He's got 3 touchdowns in 4 games, but as a starter, I think he sticks. Tyler Warren as a flex, I think that sticks. He's tight end four. He's averaging 11.2 points per game. There was a lot of people who got 11.2 points per game in their flex. And honestly, he's one bad game to 6.8. Um, I'm pretty sure he was coming off a toe injury there. I don't think he was fully 100% there. So you put in Rasheed Rice for Darnell Mooney, um, a guy who was before he got hurt last year, he was a top 5 wide receiver. So even if he's not that, right, Worthy's taken over a little of the target share. He's a little rusty. I still think Rasheed Rice will be like a top 15 wide receiver. So he's got that with Puka, the number one player in fantasy right now. And then if Trey McBride gets hurt, he's got Warren, he's got depth there. Uh it's just uh it's just a good team. It's a good team. Christian McCaffrey is a breaker, a league breaker right now, as long as he stays healthy. It's just really just Chase Brown. Chase Brown has not been good, hasn't been efficient, and now with no Jamar, without Joe Burrow, he's had 13.1, 8.5, 6, and 10, and he doesn't have a backup running back. So that's the scary part here with this team. Uh, I guess compared to Max, as you can say, Max has 3 legit running backs. This team only has one, but I think he has him beat uh, in the wide receiver category, but maybe not. But maybe I'm putting too much on Rasheed Rice, and also I believe in Travis Hunter, and then I think Ollie Gordon is a good little backup player. If Achane ever gets hurt, Ollie Gordon, I think he could feast. Maybe that's a timeshare. Actually, I don't know. Kenneth Gainwell, that might be a timeshare too. We'll see how long Warren is out. So maybe I'm not sure if this team has more depth than Max. I'm trying to think here. Uh, but I will put it as the second best team just because I think it could navigate. I think, if Chase Brown has a bye, I don't think there's anything wrong putting Gainwell in at the flex. Um, so I doubt this team's number one in points. I will check. I can check right now. Okay. It is second to Max's team by 14 points. So he's at 14 points less than Max. And he hasn't had Rasheed Rice basically his this entire time, and um, so I don't want to put up. I don't know if I can put this as a playoff lock team yet, just because I am worried about Chase Brown and McCaffrey. I think my only locks to be Max and but man, I mean. It's a great team. It's a great team. I mean, when I look at this team compared to other teams, it's just McCaffrey and Puka. Like, there's so many teams. I was looking at the 1 and 3 teams. Like, they don't have a guy. They don't have more than one guy where it's like, oh crap, I'm scared. This team's got 2 league breakers, and it might get another one in Rasheed Rice. Because you guys, if you remember, I think he was wide receiver too. I think the first like 6 weeks of last year. So maybe I'm putting too much stock in that. Maybe I'm putting too much stock in Tyler Warren being your backup tight end. Maybe as a second flex, that might end up being just mid. Um, but yeah, it's the injury concerns with Puka and Christian McCaffrey. They do get hurt almost every year. Seriously, they missed some time, a little bit of time. And compared to Mac's team, if this did get, if he, if Puka gets hurt, I think he could survive for a couple weeks. If McCaffrey gets hurt, I think this team free falls. So because I'm not fully sold on Patrick Mahomes yet. He's quarterback three. Now now he is quarterback three without Rashid Rice. You get the Rashid Rice stack. I hope you guys know what I'm seeing. I think I'm just kind of doubling up on my words here. That's it for the video. Just kind of to go back to the standings and stuff. I think some of these bottom teams, I think Hunter and Jacob could kind of there's paths there. I think Alejandro, I think he's gonna have to be a little lucky with either weeks, matchups. I don't know what his weeks look like. Like Alejandro's a guy where Alejandro's team is one of those where if he's unlucky on bye weeks, if he has a couple bye weeks where he's missing like two, three guys, then I think his team is I think his season's cooked. But I'm just not gonna waste your guys' time and go and look through all his weeks there. I don't know how many people are interested in that, but it's really Max, David, and Josh are kind of a I don't know if I want to I can't put Josh's team because it's still banged up. I can't put Josh's team on a tier with Max and David. Josh is kind of on a tier on his own in tier two. And then I think it's followed by, um, I want to say it's me, Noah, and Jacob. I still have faith in Jacob's team because it has, I could see RJ Harvey, carving out a role. And, I just think he has more elite players. I didn't really like, uh, I'm still not sure if Breece Hall is elite. And yeah, I'm as for Stawara and Tony, I'm kind of out on them. I think they're donezo. And again, yeah, the one and three, I still have some faith in Hunter to be like a gritty team. Like if Hunter makes a playoff, it's like Noah's team got really something went wrong there with his wide receivers just like not being good or getting injured. And then same thing with me. I'm just making consistently bad starts. I don't know who to start each week. And that is a thing, by the way. People have definitely missed the play. It happened more in the eight-man league because everyone kind of had a good team. So if you didn't start the right players, you were going to get smoked. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but I do. This is one of the teams. I think I have one of those teams where I can make bad decisions and keep myself out of the playoffs. So that's why I see Hunter getting into the playoffs, and I just see Jacob's team. I don't know. Maybe I just have some player takes there. I just traded for AJ Brown in another league. Uh, if AJ Brown just gets back to what he was, I think AJ Brown with Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm always going to hold a candle out for a team with those two players. So, yeah, interesting season so far. Very weird season. A lot of the waiver wire guys, Quentin Johnson's looking like a savior. We'll see how Woody Marks goes. A lot of busts in the wide receivers. Running backs are there are some busts for sure, but it's when I look at the wide receiver last year, running back was outplaying wide receiver by a bunch, and I still felt like when I looked at people's wide receivers cores, I liked them. This year, we're only into week four, and I'm like, who's elite? Who's elite? If you look at memes and look everywhere, people are obsessed with Ibuka, and he's wide receiver nine, and it's been all touchdowns. That should kind of tell you. Before, I feel like in regular wide receiver leagues, you'd be like, yeah, he's a good pick. You got him, nice job, but maybe you want to sell high, maybe you want to trade him. I don't know if I can trade Ibuka if I want to. Who am I going to go upgrade with that wide receiver? Puka, he's out of reach. Amon Ross, same thing. So odd year so far. Um, we still got a lot of time to play. I'm looking here and I'm seeing that Max and David have outscored me by 140, and that I was talking crap about Alejandro's team, and I've only scored 0.46 more than him. So, yeah, you guys take care. See you guys in 3 weeks, halfway through the season. Best of luck in your buys. Some of y'all got some ugly buys. Peace out. Oh, come on.